some characters, you should never underestimate their impact. You'll find that in many cartoons, they could easily be passed off as the one who just gets his just desserts. You know, being squashed, stretched, beaten up, slammed, hit, or even blown up. One of these characters had to possibly endure all of those more than any other Looney Tunes characters. And not just from one rival. He has been outwitted by many. However, even if he isn't one of the characters that would end up winning at the end, he is one of the most important characters among the Looney Tunes crew with a legendary legacy. You may get surprised, but I'm actually referring to Sylvester. In many of his depictions, Sylvester is just your regular cat that's just looking for his next meal. Although he fails with every attempt he tries, he is a cat that never gives up, no matter how big or small his food can be. In terms of where he unofficially began, there have been many debates about where would the prototype version of Sylvester came from. Some would say that it first appeared in the 1941 Friz Freleng tune, Notes to You, Bob Clampett's 1942's The Hep Cat, or his 1944 Birdie and the Beast with Tweety's second appearance. It wouldn't be until March 24th, 1945 where he officially made his debut in Life with Feathers. As for his name, he was supposed to be called Thomas like he did in Tweety Pie, but the guys at Termite Terrace knew that they can't keep it since a cat down at MGM already called dibs on the name. He wouldn't officially be called Sylvester until the 1948 Chuck Jones cartoon, Scaredy Cat.
Welcome to our new home, Sylvester. We're very lucky because it's the only one the real estate agent had.
Coincidentally enough, this is not the first time that Mel Blanc had to play someone called Sylvester, as he voiced another character with the same name in Judy Canova's radio show during the early 1940s. With his voice that has the signature lisp, it's actually identical to Daffy Duck's voice, but not sped up in post-production and a bit floppier. On top of that, if you take away the lisp, Sylvester's voice would be the closest to Mel's regular voice. Among all the Looney Tunes characters, Sylvester is one of the very few that all the directors would try out in a completely different fashion. When he's with Chuck Jones, he would team up with Porky Pig in a non-speaking role and be deathly afraid of his surroundings. While with Bob McKimson, he would spend time with his son, Sylvester Jr., in order to try to get Hippity Hopper, a baby kangaroo that he would mistake for a giant mouse. In the hands of his creator, and the one to use the most famous version of the character, Friz Freleng, he would have him be the chaser who always loses to either Tweety or Speedy Gonzales. There are also a few notable ones where Sylvester would team up with other Looney Tunes members, like Foghorn Leghorn in the 1947 Crowing Pains, with Daffy Duck in the 1950 The Scarlet Pumpernickel, and with Elmer Fudd with the 1948 Back Alley Uproar, and a trilogy of cartoons in the mid-1950s underwritten by the Alfred P. Sloan Foundation. Throughout his years in cartoons, Sylvester would go on to receive a total of 3 Oscars for 1947's Tweety Pie, 1955's Speedy Gonzales, and 1957's Birds Anonymous, more than any other Looney Tunes character out there, on top of 2 additional nominations for his first cartoon, Life with Feathers, and 1955's Sandy Claus. He would also be the 4th most frequently used Looney Tunes character, appearing in a total of 103 cartoons during the Golden Age. Afterwards, Sylvester would move into television during the early 80s and be the spokescat for the dry cat food brand 9 Lives. In 1985, in an episode of Press Your Luck, the host, Peter Tomarkin, screwed up on a question by saying that Daffy Duck's catchphrase is "flufferin' fuckatash." In fact, he screwed up so bad that Sylvester had to call in during the show.
Yeah, this is, Sylvester.
Sylvester?
Yeah, certainly it's Sylvester. Flufferin' fuckatash, anybody knows that.
When the 90s rolled along, he had to be a mentor to Furball in Tiny Toons Adventures and be one of the stars, along with being the narrator, in the Sylvester and Tweety Mysteries. Even TV Guide would place both Sylvester and Tweety at number 33 in their top 50 best cartoon characters. However, even after all these years, he would still have a bit of a villain side in him, not only appearing in many video games as an enemy, but also be the main villain in Tweety's high-flying adventure. On top of that, in 2011, he would also be in computer animation and try to catch Tweety again in the animated short I Taught a Putty Tat. Sure, maybe he doesn't end up on top and would get outsmarted by a bird, a mouse, and whatever, but it's with all that pain that puts him among one of the top players with the Looney Tunes, and I'm sure that 3 Oscars are much more delicious than any little bird.
Birds are off my list. That one sort of upset my stomach.
See ya, see you later, dudes!